Lash lamination is the most open niche in the beauty industry, but not everyone can make money from it. And now I'll explain why. Most technicians believe that the market is already oversaturated, there are too many specialists, and the competition is high, so there's nothing to do here. But in fact, it's quite the opposite, especially in the markets of Europe, Canada, America, and Latin America. Right now, lash lamination is gaining momentum, and you have every chance to jump in and become the most sought-after technician. And another big advantage is that in this particular field, the entry is the most accessible. Let me explain. And if we compare lash lamination to manicures, it's much harder in manicures because the material costs are much higher. You need to buy gel polishes, at least 30 to 50 shades. In addition to those, you also have to get several lamps, lots of different tools, sharp scissors, a professional machine, and various nail files. Furthermore, you will definitely need an efficient extractor fan and a special dry heat sterilizer to properly disinfect and process all of your professional tools. That is exactly why deciding to break into this specific market niche will be considerably more costly, because the necessary training is not something that will simply be completed in just a few short days. To master the skill, you'll need at least a month to practice the technique, gain experience, and only then start taking clients. Accordingly, the cost of such training is much higher, as are the expenses for materials. Permanent makeup is a really great service. Yes, it's expensive, but there are some nuances here. First of all, the training will also cost much more. Second, purchasing equipment and materials. The machine is expensive because if you buy a cheap one, you won't be able to achieve a high quality, impressive result. Furthermore, the pigments used must be of exceptionally high quality rather than the inexpensive, low-grade alternatives often manufactured in China. In addition to this, it takes a significantly longer period of time to properly develop your professional skills. And consequently, the inherent risk of causing skin injury or ending up with a poor quality result, which is much more difficult to correct later on, is, as a result, substantially higher. As for eyelash extensions, it's a really great niche, but there are already a lot of specialists on the market, and now most clients are actually moving away from this service and shifting more towards a clean, natural look. And here, clients who used to get eyelash extensions will switch to eyelash lamination. Plus, with extensions, there are certain work nuances. Again, when buying materials, you need as many different curls, lengths, and colors as possible. Plus, it's very meticulous work. Because you'll be working for at least an hour and a half to 2 hours, your back will hurt, and we don't want that. Now, about eyelash lamination. The entire procedure takes about 1 full hour. Regarding the materials, you will likely spend around $150 in total. And to learn and get your hand in, it will literally take you 7 to 10 days. After just 2 weeks, you can start offering the service, working with clients, and literally in 2 weeks, recoup your training costs and start earning. Let me remind you that natural beauty is trending right now, so those clients who used to get eyelash extensions will switch to eyelash lamination. And accordingly, those who never liked or used artificial lashes will definitely want to try this service. But here's the main question. What do you need to have in order to enter this market and become a sought-after specialist? And there are actually two interesting paths. The first, which most specialists choose, is to simply try buying the cheapest training and see if you like it or not. If you like it, then you move forward in this direction. But what happens then? When you buy an expensive training, you start practicing on models and offering this service at the lowest price. It seems like you're doing something, trying, working, spending your time, but by setting the lowest price, first of all, clients won't trust you because they don't know what materials you're using. A cheap price doesn't inspire trust in clients, so you won't get any bookings. But working at this pace, you'll burn out very quickly and realize that this isn't for you. Accordingly, there's a high risk and likelihood that you'll just quit and go look for something else. But there's a completely different path you can take. Your task is to get quality training, where you'll be taught how to deliver exactly the results the client wants. Not just some subtle effect, but a real wow effect when the client looks at her lashes and says, "Are these really my lashes?" And yes, it's exactly for this effect that clients will keep coming back. A vivid example is my student Valeria from Norway, who worked for a long time and found it difficult to build up a client base. After completing my training and learning how to achieve exactly the results clients want, she quickly filled her schedule a month in advance. But then an interesting situation happened. She was forced to move to another city where no one knew her and she had no clients. It took her only 1 month to promote herself and rebuild her client base. And some people might think that there is no growth in this niche, but I'm here to prove otherwise. Now I'll tell you how you can develop in this industry. First of all, you can become the coolest and most in-demand specialist if you simply want to work for yourself. First, by working and delivering high-quality results, you can set the highest price. Work less, but earn much more. For comparison, you could set the price for eyelash lamination at $30 and take 5 clients, which means you'd only earn $150. But you can take a different approach. Set your price at $150, take 3 clients, so you're basically working almost half as much, but at the same time you'll earn $450. See the difference? Of course, you'll work less but earn more. That's the point. And another level you can develop is opening your own studio. This is already entrepreneurial activity, it's a whole business. And in fact, you can open not just one studio, but an entire network across your country. So if someone says there's no growth in the beauty industry, you can give a vivid example of how you can grow. But besides that, it doesn't end there. As a matter of fact, looking ahead into the near future, you can also develop your own personal brand, create and manufacture your own unique materials, and distribute them to customers all over the world. So there are no limits here. Let's not go without a case study. This is my student Diana from Italy, who successfully opened her own studio and is now the most sought-after specialist. And now she has also become a trainer for the major brand Inlay. But none of this is possible if you don't have the knowledge, if you don't understand the chemistry, if you don't grasp the geometry of the rods, if you don't know what happens at each stage of the procedure, if you make mistakes and don't know how to fix them. In other words, if you have to turn to another expert just to find out where you went wrong. This means that you are not yet an expert who can grow, charge high prices, and be in demand. And all of this can be achieved very easily thanks to my teaching method, where I will teach you to truly understand each stage, to grasp the chemistry and geometry, and you won't need to turn to other experts to figure out what went wrong or how to fix it, because you'll be able to handle it all yourself, work with absolutely any type of lashes, and of course, advance in your career. And if you're just starting out and wondering whether it's worth learning this profession, then you are exactly where you need to be right now. And if you're already a specialist but you're making mistakes, getting inconsistent results, or your curls are weak, or maybe you're even over-processing your clients' lashes, you're also in the right place. In my training, you will get all your questions answered, learn how to provide this service professionally, sell it at a high price, and of course, start earning, because clients will keep coming back to you and you'll be the one they recommend. And if you want to become a trainer, then of course you will deepen your knowledge and understanding of this service, and you'll be able to easily pass this on to your students and teach them in a way that truly helps them become top professionals.